Okay, please. Uttishtata Jagrata Prapya Varan Nibodhata. This is a slok from Kathopanishad, and Swamiji has given a free translation of this part, not literally full translation of this slok part, but having a full freedom, but very close to that. Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. We have to arise and then to awake. We may arise, but we are not awake, we are sleeping. Then it will not work. And then stop not till the goal is reached. The goal of the human life, we have already discussed somewhere, sometimes also, today itself also. So goal is to manifest the divinity. Swamiji in other places said, the goal is to manifest the divinity. We are all divine, but we are sleeping. That's why nothing is coming up in that light. But our journey in the human life is to manifest that divinity. And that until then we will not stop. So we will like to understand little, again we come with this point, what does mean the term hormone, or what should be hormone in terms of wider living organism, including plant, including human, and all that. The important thing, a first point I would like to share with this hormone. How is it? Hormone is originated from one point where it is known as endocrine gland. Then it is passing to the blood vessel or the lymph, and then to reaching the target cell. And then after performing its duty, it is destroyed. So this is a very different from enzyme. The word hormone came from hormone, the Greek word. A hormone is a chemical released by an organism that affects cells in other parts of the organisms and regulates metabolic activities of physical activity and maintaining homeostasis. What is homeostasis? 10A. Can you mention what is homeostasis? 10A. Anyone please? Add something more. Homeostasis means maintaining the balanced condition of the body. Balanced condition of the body. Whatever may be the balanced condition at the site, it will try to keep in that way. So this is homeostasis. The hormone is the word from where it is actually adopted, hormone, which means to excite. And that's why we related Swamiji's idea to excite, to awake. It means also to awake. And it is a chemical messenger and transporting the signals from cell to cell, or from one point of the organ to the other cells. So this is about the hormone. Hormone will do this one. I think so. You can relate whatever you have studied. If there is a little difference, you may ask also smaller questions. We can also discuss. Now, hormone is this. Then I would like to start with it is a body's long distance regulator. It will regulate the metabolic activities, whatever required, and they are all specialized. All are specialized. Which one will do where, all are assigned that way. So body's long distance regulator. Hormone is to be known in this way. Now I would like to start with this chemical message. Finds this knob-like structure. At the end of neuron or nerve cell, you will find one knob-like structure here. So in the knob-like structure, and after that there is a gap, and there is another starting point of another neuron, the dendrite part, another neuron. If you consider like this, then we have in the junctional point, which is known as synapse. So what happens here? So we will try to understand. So one information impulse is coming to the end of one neuron, the top neuron. So one impulse is just reaching the end of the neuron at the synaptic knob. So at that, what happens? So the calcium channel is open. There are specific channels where ions can come inside or go outside. So calciums are coming from the extracellular fluid to inside. Then it excites these packets to attach with the border and then to release acetylcholine. So acetylcholines are released here, which was or kept inside the vesicles. So acetylcholine particles were kept inside the vesicles, and they came outside into this region of the synapse. Now, acetylcholine molecules are here outside the synaptic knob, and now reaching the other neuron dendrite. There are certain specific type of gates. Here they attach with the sodium gates. Now sodiums are entering. If sodiums are entering, that triggers the neuron, or neuron understands that there is an impulse. How a neuron can understand that there is an impulse? There is a information is coming. So when sodium channels are open and sodiums are coming inside, it makes sense that there is an impulse. So acetylcholine attached with the gate, and sodium channels are open and sodiums are inside into the next dendrite. So message is transported to the next one. So this is the thing. Now acetylcholine here. So the acetylcholine, look at, see here, this is the, so acetylcholine is here, and now one point thing. So acetylcholine broken down into acetic acid and choline. Acetic acid and choline. Check this one. So there are some enzymes, so it will, or some other things will require, and some then it will be going back. So going back, and then it is again put into the vesicles, some part going back and then put into the vesicle for next use, recycling. So this is your synapse transmission of impulses in neuron. Messengers. Can you name, other than hormone, any chemical messenger, any group name? In that, very fine. So chemical messengers are of different types. I will only take off only 2 or 3 because there is, or maybe 4. I think time will be no more. So only one, at least today we can, at least we can go 3, 4. Neurotransmitters. Also you have to know, where should we impose this type of terminology? The chemical messenger released by the axon terminals. I think you know the axon, the neuron, the end part of the, or the processes, one of the processes of the neuron is known as axon. The axon terminals of neurons, they will release that in the synaptic junctions. Synaptic junctions are the space between 2 neurons or neuron and the muscle cells. So neurotransmitters are this type of chemical messenger. Examples: epinephrine, adrenaline. AP, if there is a term AP, means above. If it is sometimes a hyper, that is also meaning above. Hypo means below. Sub means below. Sublingual, submandibular, all are below, like subway. So epinephrine, as this is the adrenal, it is on the top of the it is top of the kidney, so that's why it is known as this part of the adrenal cortex. So this will be epinephrine named in that, on that context. Endocrine hormones, which are actually we are talking about. Endocrine hormones are these chemical messengers are released by the endocrine glands. What are endocrine glands? 10A. Please, Dachler's glands, they produce mostly hormone-like structure or hormones. So that will be given into the body fluid like blood or lymph, and that will flow from one place to the another, to the target place, and then they will function. Examples: growth hormones, insulin. Growth hormone, insulin. Can anyone give another name for growth? Remember, when there is a chance to name anything which is related to movement or arousing something, then it is tropic, PIC, somatotropic, adrenocorticotropic, or tropic movement in plants. But when it is related with nutrition, it will be trophic, PHIC. So endocrine hormones are all tropic hormones. In case of related to the growth hormones are like that. Another thing, it is neuroendocrine hormones. Neuroendocrine hormones, they are secreted by neurons into the circulating body fluid, circulating blood. Earlier we mentioned neuron can secrete chemical messenger, but coming into the synaptic cleft, synapses, or synapse, not synapses, synapse, then it is known as neurotransmitter. Now it is neuroendocrine, like ADH. What is the full form of ADH? 10B. So ADH is antidiuretic hormone. Another name is vasopressin. Another thing is chemical messenger is paracrines. There are several other. I will stop with these 4, secreted by cells into extracellular fluid, affecting neighboring cells of different types. So these are more or less different chemical messengers, stimulate proliferations of these. So all cells together will proliferate and make a tissue or something, some organ. So it requires common signaling. In many signalings are actually done by the chemical messengers. So chemical messengers, neuroendocrine hormones, and paracrines, right? At least, because it will create habit in you, no problem for us. So chemical messengers are like this. Now 2 scientists, can you name any of them, or 2 of them? 10B. Anyone can name hormones. When these 2 scientists detected, name, at least I can just share with you, William Bayliss and Arne Sterling. They were working with the human hormones, and then they discovered it. When they were working with the secretin, the term was coined by Sterling, this as hormone. From this Greek word, they coined it because to awake something, to excite, because it is controlling anything. So Arne Sterling and William Bayliss are the 2 scientists behind naming. Sometimes someone discovers, someone gives the name. This type of things happen in case of our scientific research. So name is this one. So these are the things you have to go for that. Please go for this. I would like to suggest to all this. Now in competitive exams, questions are asked, sometimes name of the scientist, and very famous books are also asked, along with the year of publication. You go through the books of the competitive exam, higher exams, and then you will find some of the questions are coming along with this. Those who are very renowned, so we must also touch that point. That should not go out of our hands. That's why we mention the name. Now I would like to ask you one simple question. How can you inform your school friends about a ceremony during a vacation? 10A. How will you inform? Fine. Now the second question, how can you inform alumni of your school about the Golden Jubilee celebration of your school? This one, when we are going to inform one-to-one, we can take help of the mobile phone, SMS, letters, Facebook, many things. Social media, yeah, as you said. But in case when you are going to inform larger number of people, and when we do not know the addresses, so we take the help of mass media, advertising. In our body, we are having 2 types of coordinating system. One is nervous system, another is hormonal system. So nervous system can help us from joining one point to the another. But the hormonal system can join us one to many. When you do not know the address, then hormone can help us. So mass media can help us informing your very elder brothers and sisters. So here hormone also will work like mass media, and your nervous system work like social media or phones, mobiles, when there is a connection between one to one or one to very known few persons. We are on the process to understand these two types of coordinating system, and that's why we have taken similes. In our body, we have two systems of coordination. One is neuron, nerve connections, another is hormonal connection. So certainly, what is the need to have two things? One thing is sufficient. I would like to answer with these questions. So here, in case of a pituitary, there is this master gland present inside brain. There is one place also inside the brain is known as hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is the part of the brain which can receive the neural signals. So suppose body is losing enormous amount of water. So there is a scarcity of water. Certainly there will rise. So hypothalamus receiving that information, it can send message to different parts of the body not to lose water anymore or lose water in a very smaller way. It should in a little manner. Another way hypothalamus can reach out to the many parts of the or all the parts of the body by informing pituitary gland. How? So in this occasion, hypothalamus sends information to the pituitary gland. Then pituitary gland receiving that information from hypothalamus, it secretes one hormone. So it secretes hormone, antidiuretic hormone, ADH. Then it reaches, so this hormone is inside or is coming or it reaches the blood vessel and passing to the blood vessel throughout the body, announcing those who are releasing water, please check release of water because body may in danger. Body is facing scarcity of water. So by announcing that, everyone will be cautioned. You need not to inform each and everyone. In case of phone, if you know the other person, when contact is known between both the parties, then phone is applicable, SMS is applicable. But when other end is not known to us, we cannot reach by sending anything until and unless if we advertise it. So here also the same thing, two things are required. You cannot send information to neuron all the time because you do not know other parties who are they actually releasing all the time this water. But it would be helpful if you send the information across the body with the help of hormone signaling everywhere, and then everybody is alert, everybody getting the alert and be ready to check that. So these are the things. So that's why we need neural connections, neural control, as well as we need hormonal control. Two things are required. Now, difference between neural and endocrine regulation. Can I get any answer from you?
Ductless glands, neural glands are ductal glands.
Now that's fine, but we are talking about the difference between regulation, not the position. You have to distinguish on the point given, that regulation point, not others.
Endocrine glands secrete hormones directly into the blood.
Okay, the neural. Okay, take your seat. No problem. So things are like, so when points are mentioned, so be cautious about that. Sometimes differentiations or distinguish, this type of questions are asked on a very specific type of point. You have to answer on that. Here it is regulation. So neural regulation, there may be differences on different parameters, different characteristics. We are talking about neural regulation. So target as well as location of the target are known. In case of neural regulation, where is the target and what is the place we can know. So that time neural regulation is possible, other is not possible. But in case of endocrine regulation, target is known, but locations may not be known. You do not know where are they situated, but you know whom to inform. That means those who are releasing water, you think that they should be informed, but you do not know. Some may be somewhere else. You do not know the address. So better to announce in the blood by hormone, and so everybody will get the information, and then they will take the action whatever needed. So this is the difference between neural and endocrine regulation. So you develop your ideas on the basis of the points given. Try to distinguish accordingly. And these are the things you have to go for. And also with the labeling. In the pictures, suppose one picture is to be drawn, but in the question it is said that you have to draw this picture and label 3 things. Whatever given in the question, you have to label only that, not that whatever you have learned, so that won't help you. So you have to go by this way. Now, differences between neural and endocrine effects. First one, the effects of nerves regulation. It is typically concerned with quick response, like reflex. Very quick it is required. You cannot wait for a longer time. So at that time, neural connections are very important and neural nerve regulations are important. Brief. And it will be a brief duration and localized in their effects. It may be in the muscle, in the very small zone. So this type of reactions are required, and that can be obtained by nervous regulations. Please understand every point. Do not memorize. First understand. It will help you, and you can also then respond to other questions which is asked anywhere, even in Bhayavasi, or sometimes you can also make others understand what is the work, what are the actions done by these 2 groups, the neural and endocrines. Next, effects of endocrine regulation. So effects of endocrine, it is slow. So it is slow, but important thing is prolonged influence is there. Prolonged. It may not be very temporary. There is very short time response. It will be prolonged one. It will be maybe a lifelong one also. So widely distributed throughout the body also. So widely distributed throughout the body. This is one important thing. So differences, I tried to put before you how to develop the ideas, when you are going for the differentiation. So you should go for that this way, okay? Not that some points you should memorize. It is not at all required sometimes. You can only develop ideas and can write it also. So differences between neural and endocrine from the standpoint of their effects. Now, characteristics of hormone, I would just only to give you little ideas what are the characteristics. As we studied in case of plant hormones, now we are going to study human hormones. So taking together, or all other animal hormones taking together, it is produced by a specific tissue of the body. So it is produced by a specific tissue of the body. And this is the thing, fundamental thing about it. It is generally released in the body fluids. When we talk about animals, especially human, so it will be like this. So these are not connected with any duct, with the place where these are secreted. So that's why the glands are known as ductless glands, where hormones are produced. Then coming to the distant target tissue talked about earlier in the the very beginning. So carried to a distant target tissue. I think basically we have touched all this point. Once to understand it, sometimes it is coming that you have to write 2 characteristics of hormone. So sometimes you have to go for that, or you have to identify the characters mentioned in the MCQ. So at that time you have to go for that. And only a small amount of hormone is required to alter the cell metabolism. And after the action, the hormone is destroyed. It cannot be stored anywhere. This is one speciality of hormone. It cannot be stored, so every time it should be manufactured for action. So these are the very basic idea. So transport signal from cell to cell, or cell to tissue, or cell to some organ, mostly cell to cell or cell to tissue, you can say. So these are characteristics of hormone, and also there are, we didn't mention, 3 types of hormones can be produced in human being or in others also. From the standpoints of chemical nature, we just skip that one. So these are the basic characteristics of hormone. In case of chemical structure, there may be of 3 types. I would show you at least one time, if time permits, to about the function, not the. So we would come to one, just to come to the next point. I would like just to come to the next point. Its effect. We are very much concerned with its effect. And so how can it affect, or how can it affect the target tissue? So we would come to that point. Just to see with the picture I would just to come with the picture to understand that. Suppose they want to put the effect indirectly, or rather they can only do that way only because they are not allowed to enter the cell. Suppose hormone is here, check this one, our hormone is here, our hormone reached the cell, target cell here, but the hormone is not allowed to enter. Then what to do? So indirect effect of hormone is possible. So it will send the information. The information will be collected by specialized cells, rather specialized chemicals inside the cell. Then that will be given to the nucleus. Nucleus will decide then what to do. So this is one indirect method. This is one indirect method. I can just to go for that indirect method. Check this one. This is outside cell. This is plasma membrane, and then inside cell. What will happen? So in case of a hormone which came here, growth factor, some hormones, but they are unable to reach inside. So they will be connected with some specialized parts of the plasma membrane to transfer the message. Then that message or the signal will be available to the nucleus by some other way, not directly with this part, and then accordingly the nucleus will respond. So this is indirect type of effect. Indirect effect of hormone on cell. Only write the heading. Indirect effect of hormone is possible. Mostly they can do this way. Very rarely can they go for direct. Now, direct effect. I would like to show you direct effect first. That is a very important thing and very well-known hormone. So now, the left top corner, that ball shaped, if it is our hormone, this is steroid hormone. So this is the chemical nature of one type of hormone, which is steroid hormone. This hormone, then it is 2 phospholipid cell membrane. So cell membrane made of phospholipid, as you know. So this is your cell membrane, and then it is inside cell. So steroid hormone can go inside the cell, crossing the plasma membrane. This is possible. In case of human body, we can find that steroid hormones are passing through blood vessels. Then passing through blood vessel, coming to close to the target cell, then it will cross the blood vessel barrier. Then it will come close to the cell. So it will enter the cell, target cell. In the cell, inside the target cell, they will be connected or attached with a specific type of guide, proteins or some specific type of carriers. Then they will be taken to the nucleus, so inside nucleus. So these are taken to the inside nucleus. Then this hormone can give the message to the DNA. So DNA learned the message, got the message, understood it, then it writes what should be done. It writes the message to be done in this letter, which is known as mRNA, messenger RNA. Then mRNA is coming out of the nucleus in the cytoplasm. Then what is the message, what is the instruction given by the DNA on the nucleus? Now it is read by ribosome. Ribosome is reading the mRNA. And after reading, or just along with the reading, it makes protein. That protein takes the responsibility of the specific work. So DNA can dictate this way, and hormone can reach the DNA and tells the thing, and then this proper response can be developed. So this is known as direct response. And also remember, we say nucleus is the brain of the cell. Why? Because everybody has to obey the dictation of the instruction given by the nucleus here also. But the nucleus remaining same place. But writing letter, sending mRNA into the cytoplasm, everybody has to understand the message and do that way. So this is direct effect of hormone. Please write that. And in case direct or effect of hormone on cells, note example as steroid hormone. Write also name steroid hormone. The nature of the hormone is steroid. So two types of effects can be done by the hormones in human body. One is indirect, another is direct. And in case of direct, steroid hormones can only do that way.